Hi.
Hi, everybody. It's Jill here with Illuminating Women, and this is our Lunch and Learn, where we get to have an opportunity to connect and learn something new as we are all kind of still sheltering in place during COVID-19. Today, I asked one of our members, Eileen Paul, with Pampered Chef, to teach us, because if you're like me, and probably a lot of us, we've gained the COVID-20. So instead of 19 pounds, it's 20 pounds. And so we're kind of like putting ourselves back on that health wheel and trying to learn how to eat a better meal. And so I asked Eileen to come in today to teach us a healthy and nutritious dish that's low-cal, something easy to do. And if you don't know this woman, she's so fun, and she just livens up the kitchen, and I swear she should have her own show. So Eileen, welcome to this place. Share a little bit about you and what you do and what you're going to teach us today.
Well, I've been doing Pampered Chef for 22 years, but I've also had a 46-year career as a registered dietitian, retired about 4 years ago, actually today. So today's an anniversary for me. How about that? So I've continued to sell Pampered Chef in my retirement as my side gig. And, you know, we all have different reasons for why we do it, but I just love to teach people how to cook, and I love the connection with healthy eating. So today I picked a salad to do that's actually vegan. So no matter what your lifestyle is, you should be able to enjoy this. And I will post the recipe afterwards so everybody can make note of it. And of course, you can always adapt a recipe like this. My husband wouldn't be happy with just beans on his salad. He'd want an egg and maybe a slice of turkey. You could always do something like that. Or and we're using quinoa for a grain, and if you'd prefer to use a different grain, you could substitute. So today, I have things laid out, and you're not going to see my face because I want you to see some of the tools. But first of all, I'm going to start out with, see if I can get this angled down. I'm going to make a little dressing in the bowl. So I have taken the Easy Read measuring cup, the 1/4, and there's 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And then for the next ingredient, we need 2 teaspoons of zest. So this is our microplane zester. Washed my lemon, and we're going to juice the lemon, but you always want to zest your lemon first. So trying to zest a lemon that's already been juiced is really, really difficult. So you can see here, I'm just doing this upside down and rotating the lemon around. You don't want the white pithy part, you just want the yellow part for your zest. And we need 2 teaspoons of zest. So it's going to take pretty much the whole lemon zested. And we could measure this really precisely, or if you're a cook who knows what 2 teaspoons of zest looks like, you can do this and just scoot it in. So there's that. Now for the juicing part, I'm just going to take my Santoku knife. This has got those little grantins on the side, and that keeps your food from sticking to the blades. You don't have to constantly be pulling it off. This is our juicer. I really prefer this when I'm juicing things that need to be measured, and you can do it in the strain, or you can do it in the pour. We're going to strain, but most of the time the seeds stay right up at the top. And this is a juicer that's generous enough to be able to do grapefruit, oranges, lemons, limes. So you could really make use of this and juicing in your kitchen if you want to do things like bigger things like oranges and grapefruits. For the citrus press, we'll only really do lemons and limes because oranges are just way too big. All right, so we need 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. I call these my non-aerobic measuring cups because you don't have to bend or twist or turn or do anything to be able to read them. You just look inside, and there they go. There's 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. Okay, and the other ingredient that goes in there is some salt and pepper. I'm using Pampered Chef peppercorns. These are 5 different peppercorns in our pepper. They're so wonderful. And then I'm using the Himalayan sea salt. And a clove of garlic. The recipe actually calls for you to mash the garlic on your cutting board after you've peeled it. I'm not peeling it. You just put the whole thing in, squeeze, and done. So it really cuts down the things that you have to do. And then what's left is just the paper part of it. And I know Jill loves this garlic press. So you just come out with a little piece of the paper, so no peeling required. Okay, so that's in there, and I'm just gonna grab my whisk, which I forgot to bring over here. Stainless steel whisk. And I'm gonna whisk that around, and now I'm gonna take a little bit back out because we're gonna do a two-part recipe here, and we need some in the bowl and some in the topping. So what's in the bowl? We're going to add the chickpeas, smooth edge can opener, and a can of organic garbanzo beans, or which are the same thing as a chickpea. And a lot of people struggle with this because they don't realize that you just turn it and it grabs the can. And even somebody with arthritis can do this. And when it feels like it's gone around, there's a little grabber right here. Can you see that little thing? Push this button, and this goes down and grabs the lid. The lids are glued on, so they're hard to pull off. You really need to use the grabber. Okay. Now we want to drain these. So I'm going to use this Colander Drainer.
Wow, Eileen, I just noticed that with that can opener, it looks like that can, you're not going to get cut, because I know from other can openers, it can, look how smooth that is.
So you have a smooth lid and you have a smooth can. So whether you've got kids in your house or you got a pet that gets into your garbage, you're not going to cut yourself. They're not going to cut themselves on the lid and the can are both smooth edge. And this is one of my favorite tools in the kitchen is this colander strainer. So now I would just take this to the sink and rinse these beans. I'm just gonna do it on camera here with a little bit of water in my Brita. And it has measure marks inside. So if you're draining something like corn and it says 2 cups in the recipe, you wanna be in my video, honey?
I'm just going to eat what you're cooking.
So you have the measure marks right here. You can pour things in and measure what your ingredients are. So the bottom is actually a can strainer. It'll fit into a tuna can, a pineapple can, bamboo shoots, or something like that. So I'm just going to move that to the sink. And then I'm going to show you the grater for the carrot. So this is like the microplane zester, but this one is coarse. And actually this one's right now is not available. It's been one of our popular things. You can get these as a set or single, and we are sold out. So we're supposed to get it back in late June. But I'm just grating my carrot right into this little prep bowl. And I have most of it already grated, but I want you to see how easy that is. Or you can actually do it, woo, carrot everywhere. You can just do it in this configuration. So whether you have it opened or not is totally up to you. All right, so now we've got that. And I need to put the garbanzo beans, the carrot, and the avocado into this bowl to marinate for a few minutes. And I'm gonna do the avocado here. So I'm gonna just take my Santoku knife and open the avocado and give it a little twist. Beautiful. To take the seed out, you just tap your knife into the pit and give it a twist and it'll come right out. And then the easiest thing for removing your avocado from the shell is to just take a big spoon, dip in, and go around like that. And you have this beautiful avocado. And
That's beautiful. I now I understand more about that knife, and this is so cool. Thank you. Man,
This is one of my favorite knives. Just, you know, it's so handy for my hand. And when you don't actually use it like a chef knife, but it's similar. But because the blade's only 5 inches, it really fits my hand really well, and I love it for that reason. This is called our quick slice. It has very, very sharp serrated blades. And so we sell it with a blade guard on the bottom. So when you're storing it, when you pick it up out of your counter or your drawer or your cupboard, you're not going to get your hands up in there where it'll cut you. But this is just for storage only. And I'm just going to take my avocado and set it on top of this. And then this just goes down and slices it. So now if you wanted to fan this out and put it on your salad, you've got this beautiful slices of avocado. This recipe calls for the avocado to be diced. So I'm just going to give it a 1/4 turn and dice it again. And then this goes right into the bowl with the carrot and the chickpeas, which are marinating in that 3 tablespoons of dressing. So let me get that. I'm going to give it a stir just to get the marinade onto. Now that should go for marinate for about 5 minutes. So while that's marinating, what I'm going to do, and this was a big avocado, you could use the whole thing, but avocado does have a fair amount of calories in it. And to keep this reasonable calorie-wise, I'm going to say a small avocado to medium-sized avocado. And then you probably don't want to use this giant one unless you're going to, oh, guess I better put the marinade in. So there's that. Now it's marinating.
Can we see the bowl? Can you pull it out? So there you go. No.
This is our small glass measuring mixing bowl out of the series of 3 mixing bowls. This is the small size one. And I never thought I would use it as much as I do, but oh my gosh, do I use it a lot. I always used to use the batter bowl, but these mixing bowls really are wonderful for baking and for things like this. All right, so 2 more things that need to get added to this recipe. One is quinoa. So I have, before you tuned in, pressure cooked my quinoa, and it took 1 minute in the pressure cooker. That's the time that it takes to come to pressure, and the 10 minutes that it needs for natural release. And you just give it a fluff up with a pork. Now, I did 1.5 cups of water and 1 cup of quinoa because I'm going to put it in one of my freezer containers with a lockdown lid and put the rest in the freezer for another day, so I'm not having to cook quinoa, you know, repeatedly.
So Eileen, could you use chicken broth instead of water?
Sure. Yeah. Or vegetable broth. Yeah.
Or vegetable broth. Okay.
Sure. And I do make my own vegetable broth in my pressure cooker. Oh. I take all the peelings and the extras from potatoes and onions and carrots and peppers, and you know, I put everything in there, stems and seeds, and I take the cilantro seeds, everything. I just throw it in a bag in my freezer. In fact.
Wow, this is excellent. I didn't know that.
Here it is. It's full. Ready to make vegetable broth when I need some vegetable broth. And I just put this in my pressure cooker and fill it up with 6 quarts of water, and then let it go for about 45, 50 minutes. And then I freeze the vegetable broth so I have it for other recipes. And you can do the same thing with chicken bones and beef bones and make your own bone broth. And the pressure cooker saves so much time. I just love it.
Does that add a lot of calories when you add the chicken, or if you add a chicken or bone broth or in?
No, not much. No. Broth doesn't have very many calories at all, even if you're making your own. So, okay. So we're gonna do 1.5 cups of quinoa. So there's 1 cup, And there's a half a cup. I'm measuring. And you could skip the grain if you want to do a grain-free salad. You don't have to have the grain in here. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is our salad spinner. This has our greens in it. And I actually have a spring mix that's like, I don't know, they're 12-ounce containers or something, and this recipe called for 5. So I just took the basket and put it on my scale and zeroed it and then measured in 5 ounces of greens. And then I filled this up with water. Even though it says pre-washed, you want to re-wash your greens for safety. That gets any of the manure or even if it's organic, you know, you want to give it a good cleaning. So then I drained the water off, and this is how much water was still draining when I just let it sit. So now I'm going to actually spin it. And it does come with another basket. This basket is great for berries and basil. It's smaller, and you just use this basket instead. You don't use both baskets. And the other thing I wanted to show you was the strainer I used when I rinsed the quinoa. This is fine mesh, and the quinoa will not go through that fine mesh, so it's a really great strainer. And then this is just unlock. And then there's a break right there. So you just spin it and break. And then this is how much more water spun off.
Wow.
So you really get your greens nice and dry. And you can actually do a couple of spins if you want to. And I do spin my berries, like when I wash raspberries and you get water down in the center, it doesn't mush the berries.
Really?
So, it really doesn't. So that's the end of that. And then these are going in here.
And there's dressing still left in that brown bowl, is that correct?
There is dressing still left in that bowl, probably about a tablespoon and a half. And then what we're going to do is combine the quinoa with the other vegetables. And then this gets all tossed together and ready to go. So if you were doing this for company, you could take the other half of the avocado and use it as a garnish on the top. I think this is going to be a very generous salad. There we go.
Could you add, like, say if you wanted to add a pepper or cucumber, would that'd be fine?
Sure. And if you didn't have a carrot, you could use jicama or sweet potato. And if I was using sweet potato, I probably would just give it a quick blanch, like maybe 2 minutes in boiling water and then chill it down, but that would be a root vegetable. You could add beets to this. So this recipe actually is not a Pampered Chef one. It's called Quinoa Avocado and Chickpea Salad over Mixed Greens, and it's from Eating Well. And Eating Well is a magazine subscription, but you can also get Eating Well recipes online. And when I saw this recipe, I thought, oh, this is really a good recipe. It says it makes 500 calories per serving, and the number of servings is 2. So if you were going to do this for a family, this is a huge bowl of salad for 2 people. I would say, you know, easily we would divide this between the 3 of us in our household.
I'm telling you, that just looks so stinking delicious. I'm going to unmute everybody and look at that. Marcia, what do you think, sister?
My mouth is watering, and I have a whole list of things I need. It's crazy.
Well, there's 2 things you can do. I have a link going right now that you can add to my party. Or
How
you can
about
be
the
a host of your
fundraiser?
fundraiser for help with cancer.
Is it
The
over?
Feeding America fundraiser closed, and the help with cancer fundraiser I think that's still open. I'll share a couple of links so people can have a choice.
So I'm gonna stop recording and we can sit and visit a little bit more. But Eileen, I want to thank you so much.
Thank you for asking me and letting me share. I love doing this.
And so on this video, when it's posted on YouTube at the Illuminating Women page, I will have Eileen's contact with the recipe. And I can't wait for my show because, you know, right now, cooking in the kitchen and being with family, we're starting to see during this time the importance and getting good nutrition in at the same time. So thank you again, Eileen. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And just keep checking us out on illuminatingwomen.com and stay on our YouTube channel and continue to learn and grow and make beautiful connections with other amazing women. We will talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Eat healthy.
Eat healthy.